Hello, sweeties. Hope you are all doing well. This is Miss Julia speaking, and we are going to continue the triangles lesson. And we are going to talk about the particular lines in a triangle that might be perpendicular bisectors, heights or altitudes, medians, and finally bisectors. In this video, we are going to discuss only perpendicular bisectors in a triangle. Let's begin with the reminder about how to draw or construct the perpendicular bisector of a certain segment, which is in our case the segment AB over here. In order to draw the perpendicular bisector of the segment AB, first, you apply the definition of the bisector of a segment, which is by plotting the midpoint of the segment, which is AB, that cuts AB into two equal parts. And then you apply the definition of the perpendicular by the help of the set square. You place the set square on AB and basically on its midpoint, and you draw, as you can notice here, the semi-line or a line, and in this way you get the perpendicular bisector of your segment. As you can notice here, this semi-line passes through the midpoint of AB, and at the same time it is perpendicular to AB, so I have the right to call it the perpendicular bisector of AB. Now let's move to the perpendicular bisectors in a triangle, and let's consider the triangle DFE over here. We have to draw the perpendicular bisectors of the three sides, DF, EF, and ED. We are going to draw the perpendicular bisector of each side or each segment as if we are working with it alone. So the first step will be placing the midpoint of each segment. We will start with the segment DF, and its midpoint is going to be Z. Then the midpoint of EF, which is Y, and finally plotting the midpoint of ED, which is X. The second step is to draw the perpendicular to each segment through its midpoint. So we are going to draw the perpendicular to the segment DF with the help of the set square by placing the set square on the segment DF and basically on the midpoint of DF, which is Z, in this way. And we are going to draw the perpendicular bisector indicated with the green line. With the same procedure, we will get the perpendicular bisector of the segment EF, which is the red line over here. And now we have to draw the perpendicular bisector of the segment ED by placing the set square on ED and basically on the midpoint of ED, and then drawing the perpendicular bisector indicated with the blue line over here. As a final result, and after erasing everything outside of the rectangle, we will get these three segments over here. As you can notice, these three segments intersect at the point C. This point of intersection of the three perpendicular bisectors is called the circumcenter. And why do we call it the circumcenter? Because the point C over here, which is the intersection of the perpendicular bisectors, is the center of the circumscribed circle that passes through the three vertices of the triangle DFE. As you can notice, the red circle over here that passes through the three vertices of the triangle is called the circumscribed circle about the triangle DFE. Now, before I continue in the field of the perpendicular bisector, I need to remind you about the types of the triangles. We have the acute triangle, which is formed of three acute angles. We have the obtuse triangle, which is formed of one obtuse angle and two acute angles. And finally, the right triangle that is formed of one right angle and two acute angles. Why am I reminding you of the types of the triangles? Because the location of the circumcenter depends on the type of the triangle you are dealing with. As the previous example, we were dealing with an acute triangle, so the circumcenter was placed inside the triangle. But if you are dealing with an obtuse triangle, as the triangle NMP over here, it is an obtuse triangle because the angle NMP is an obtuse angle. As you can notice that the circumcenter is outside the triangle. And if you are dealing with a right triangle as the triangle over here, if you can notice that the circumcenter over here is placed on the triangle. So the position of the circumcenter depends on the type of the triangle you are dealing with. Thank you for watching. We will meet again soon in another videos.